Hi, everyone. Welcome to our talk on mapping with Wayfarer. My name is Danbi Lee, and I'm a product manager at Niantic. And Sylvia, do you want to come up and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Sylvia, and I'm currently a tech lead manager on the Geodata platform client team.
Thanks. So we're really excited to be speaking with you today about how to map the world with Niantic Wayfarer. But first, what is Wayfarer? A lot of you have been asking. Wayfarer is actually our community mapping program where we invite players to map the world with us together. Wayfarer actually started back in 2016 with our Ingress players as a program called Operation Portal Recon. This is where we invited high-level players to nominate new points of interest to add to the game, as well as decide on them. In late 2019, actually, we rebranded the program as Niantic Wayfarer and invited millions of more Pokemon Go players to help us map the world. Today, oh, I'm forgetting my notes. Yes. So in 2019, we rebranded the program as Niantic Wayfarer and invited millions of Pokemon Go players to help us map the world. We actually also coined a new term for our points of interest called the Wayspot, and you may have heard that before as well. Today, we have over 17 million Wayspots mapped, described, and photographed, as well as over 40 million Wayspot scans that are supporting VPS experiences that you will create. But before we get into how you can map the world too, let's quickly talk about Wayspots. If you've played a Niantic game before, then chances are you've visited a Wayspot. A Wayspot is a place or an object that is locally unique, is culturally meaningful, historically significant, or simply an interesting place that's worth venturing out to. Wayspots are added to the map for the community and by the community, and are available and are used across all Niantic games. So these are the portals, the Pokestops, and the big flowers in the real world. And these are the locations that are going to be powering your VPS experiences. Okay, let's dive into how. Sylvia?
Thank you very much, Danbi. So for the past few months, my team has been really hard at work trying to deliver the best Wayfarer experience to the audience. And I'm so proud to be standing on stage today in order to showcase this application to you. So why don't we get started? Now we're going to divide this into 4 sections. First, to be able to discover and view nearby Wayspots. Next, scanning the live public Wayspot. Creating a private VPS location, and last but not least, testing a VPS at that location. Okay, so as Debbie mentioned before, Niantic currently owns 17 million Wayspot, and many of them are actually user-generated content from our live games, such as Pokemon Go and Ingress. And we are here to try to help you understand where you can find those live Niantic Wayspots at your area of interest, and also to be able to see which exact ones are actually VPS activated. So here is a quick screenshot of what a Wayspot details card looks like, with enriched metadata such as the title, description, a photo reel, you can see the address, you can actually navigate by clicking on the top left button. And in addition, you can also test VPS directly at this Wayspot and also scan it. Upon first logging into this application, you will first see this map view. Click on the Load Nearby Wayspot button in order to populate that area. You can filter the Wayspot by its VPS activated location, obviously by clicking on the VPS button on the top right corner. We also incorporated some basic pinching motion as well as panning so that you'll be able to cluster the Wayspot by zooming out, or discover more area if you pan out. Now, in addition, you can also report a Wayspot. And we supply you with a list of pre-filled reasons, and in addition, you can also attach your own reasonings to it. This could include if location is a duplicate, or it no longer exists, or it's unsafe to play at. And I also want to quickly mention that there's the Test VPS button on the bottom left corner where it will send you into a portal. At that point, you can see approximately where you're located at. You can see a Wayspots photo. And this will help you test the localization at that particular place, and we'll talk more about that later on. Now, scanning the live Wayspot. One of our goals at Niantic is to be able to map the world and create seamless VPS experiences. However, we are far from achieving that. And we need the community's help in order to submit AR scans to specific live Wayspots in order to help activate VPS at that location. And we really hope that Wayfarer will serve as one of the many applications to be able to bring your city and neighborhood online and empower VPS content there. So let's look at a quick demo on how to do that. Here, this is a Wayspot that has not yet been VPS activated. You can enter into your scan flow by simply clicking on the Wayspot details card, which will automatically attach that place, or you can attach the location after you complete the scanning. The scans are going to be saved in 1-minute chunk with a 20-second minimum requirement in order to ensure the completeness of the mesh. Let the visualization guide you to see the completeness. Give it a quick wait, and you can see a preview. At this point, if you haven't, make sure to mark it as public and attach the correct Wayspot to that scan. After clicking next, you have the ability to upload now or later, then quickly go into the logbook, and you will see the mesh right then and there. And if everything looks good, go ahead and upload it, submit it to Niantic. Now, perhaps the most exciting feature that everyone has been waiting for is to be able to submit a private scan to Niantic and create a VPS activated location for you and your eyes only. So not all developers have the luxury of living next to a nearby Wayspot, let alone VPS activated. And it could be a huge pain having to drive out, test VPS, come back, do some development, and repeat that process again. So in order to quickly iterate through the process and make the development cycle more efficient, now you can actually take a scan of your backyard or the office space or your living room, submit it, and make that into a test playground at the comfort of your own home. So how do we do that? You take a quick scan, you mark it as private and submit it, and in about 4 hours, Niantic will be able to create a localizable mesh and make it downloadable on your developer portal. You can also immediately test it in your application after that has been processed. So I just want to reiterate on the privacy that this is only discoverable and usable by you and your own application. Let's see a quick demo on how to do that. So here is one of my favorite little corners at the Niantic Sunnyvale office. You can see me slowly panning around, trying to get every nook and cranny of the corner, trying to get every detail of that coffee table, you know, the alley, the desks, the chairs, the little plants on the table. Really just let the visualization guide you, and be sure to heed some of the warnings. Sometimes it will have a pop-up that says slow down or it's too dark, etc. After that, be sure to mark it as private and choose between upload later or upload now. We always try to tell people to upload on Wi-Fi because it could eat up a lot of data. Head on over to the logbook page and check out each of the mesh preview. And over here, you can see how detailed this meshing is. I could zoom in and see the little vase on the table. So this scan looks very good. However, when I click on another scan, I have seen that there's no detail in this mesh whatsoever. And usually this will not contribute to your mapping progress. So we just kindly ask you to delete that one. Afterwards, click on the upload button, and you can head over to your developer portal to check on the processing status. And in about 4 hours, you will be able to get a downloadable mesh and check it out on your own. OK, so lastly, I want to quickly talk about how to test VPS. So we have a very simple user interface to be able to test VPS at Wayspots. This is a quick way, kind of like a baseline, to validate if a Wayspot is localizable, and whether more scans need to be submitted in order to better the map generation. So if you go to a Wayspots and try to localize against it and it fails, don't fret. Usually this means that you need to submit more scans at better lighting condition, more camera angles, weather condition, or different crowd population, etc. And here's a quick demo right outside of our Sunnyvale office, the Apricot. This is already VPS activated. As you can see, I enter into the test VPS flow in the bottom map view or through any of the Wayspot card, and then slowly pan around the object and try to test the alignment there. And you will see on the live text at the top, it will reflect the VPS localization status after a few seconds, whether if it succeeds or fails. Now, I hope you enjoyed the very short demo there. I want to pass it back to Danbi to talk about what's next.
Thanks. Thanks, Sylvia. Was this working? Cool. So what can you expect next in the app over the next few months? We want to highlight 4 key upcoming developments. The first thing that we're working on over the next few months, we're focused on delivering the capability for you to test your private VPS location directly within the app. This means that after you submit or upload your private scan and it's been processed for you as a mesh, you'll be able to open up the Wayfarer app and privately test your localization against it. Secondly, we're already working on improving the visual feedback to make it a lot crisper in the scanning experience, as well as reducing the overall scan save and upload time. Third, we're going to be adding more ways to contribute to the map, such as suggesting Wayspot edits or attribution updates, since you know your local neighborhood the best, nominating new Wayspots to the community map, as well as reviewing others' nominations that are nearby you. And fourth, since the app is currently only available in test flight, we'll be bringing this to the App Store and Google Play for Android devices. So if you want to get your hands on the Niantic Wayfarer app, please visit the meshes page of your developer portal on lightship.dev, where you'll find a download link to test flight. So we're really looking forward to all of the feedback that you'll provide, and really excited to see all of the VPS-powered experiences you'll deliver. Thanks so much. We're here for another 15 minutes if anyone has any questions, or you're also free to enjoy the rest of your lunch. It was a short and sweet presentation today.
Thank you.
It's really bright. It's pretty bright. Oh, yeah. Cool, let's go.
Hi, I was just wondering, because I didn't notice in the videos there, but is there a way to be able to take pictures of the areas too for the hint images? Will that be part of the app, or is that something where you have to submit a location? Could this be a new Wayspot?
We will be adding the feature. It's not right now, but we will be adding the feature after these 4 developments to be able to upload also photos.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Hi, if we want to add a waypoint in a city that doesn't have any waypoints, what is the first step?
We actually have a process. Actually, we have the product manager here who's creating that process. Do you want to speak to that? Okay. We do have a process. So eventually, we would like to build that feature into the app where you can directly nominate and suggest a new Wayspot directly within the app. But for now, we do have a process where you can submit a help ticket and basically a formatted CSV with all of the locations that you would like to be added. They will get vetted by our operations team to ensure that they meet our guidelines and our policy on what should be added to the map. But that will be all available to you through the developer portal.
And it's not available yet, right? That CSV?
The CSV, you'll have to format the CSV and then upload it to us.
Oh, so there's a page to upload at this point?
Yes, you would be supporting submitting a Zendesk ticket.
Zendesk ticket.
Through the developer portal.
It's on the developer portal. I'll find it there.
Yes. Good question.
Great talk, thank you. You mentioned there's a flow for managing duplicate waste spots and sort of consolidating them. What about cases where there are two waste spots that are partially overlapping? So somebody scans one side of a fountain, another person scans another side. Is there a way to consolidate or sort of just reconcile when there's partial overlapping scans?
Not directly from within the app, but I feel like that's a good question for the mapping team. I don't know if, Tori, you want to speak to that? Do you want my mic?
Yeah, so at Niantic Wayspots, we typically have like dozens or even hundreds of different scans, and we do a process called map alignment, where we take all those different scans and we build, they're turned into nodes. So a single scan is one or more nodes. Each node has a localization framework within it, and then we align all those nodes together. So sort of the bucket that ties all that information together are the wayspots that Danbi and Sylvia are talking about. And then in terms of what we do on the mapping side is we consolidate all that different information together and try to find the best scans to capture all the spatial and temporal variation at that location. And that's all handled together just behind the scenes. So that should be fine.
Thanks, Tori.
I just had a quick question. With the scanning, do you have to have LiDAR enabled, or is that both non-LiDAR as well?
Nope, currently you do not need a LiDAR device.
Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Haley.
I'm on the Discord right now, and I have a question.
All right, let's talk to Discord.
Yeah, let's talk to Discord. So this person is based in Berlin. They say, I find it kind of weird there is really only one spot in Berlin, Germany. Around Germany, there are several spots already. Please don't tell me that we in Germany cannot use VPS because of privacy reasons.
No, that's not. Do they mean that there's only one VPS activated
I think so.
way spot near them?
Yeah, so what should be my response to these folks?
I mean, those are all way spots that are available in the game and are scannable through Pokemon Go and Ingress currently. And for developers, you'll be able to scan those locations in Germany through the Wayfarer app. There aren't any privacy concerns. When we were talking about the private scan, that's a scan for you to take at home or at work while you're doing some testing. And that scan itself will never be available to anyone else, and it doesn't limit the public scans, as we say, that contribute to the overall VPS map.
Awesome. It looks like Tori.
Tori's, yeah.
I know some people on the AR mapping team, and I have a pretty good feeling that there will be a lot of VPS activated locations in Berlin pretty soon.
We love Berlin.
Thank you.
Hi, I was wondering,
next to you.
after a waste spot is nominated, is there an average amount of time that it might take to go public?
Yeah, from the developer, I believe, Helena, where the SLA is a couple days for review.
Whole team's here.
The whole team's here, yeah.
Okay, just to add on to clarify that, it's about 2 business days. Yeah.
Yeah. Provided that we review them and they kind of meet our criteria, then they'll be added within 2 business days of receipt.
Great.
Yeah.
One other quick question. I noticed for one of the private waste spots, you were scanning indoors. Are public waste spots allowed to be indoors, or are they mostly outdoors?
They are allowed to be indoors. We want them to be publicly accessible, right? So if you think of a place that has pretty restrictive hours of operation but are considered public, they're not generally that good for gameplay and ultimately your end user as well. So I would just try to consider the term publicly accessible and try to consider that we want it to be mostly accessible all the time to the public so that people who are playing your game or using your application can access that location without frustration or without trespassing.
Great, thanks.
Do that.
Just like add on to what Danbi just said, communicated. This is like really difficult. Really excited to see the enthusiasm about submitting Wayspots. It is available today in the dev portal. You just log into dev portal and search for the section called nominating new Wayspots, which includes detailed instructions on like what are the criteria, where can I submit, and how do I submit. and what's happening afterwards, where can I see it? All these information are all in there. Yeah, so look forward to receive all your nominations and help us with the mapping of the world.
Thanks, Helena. Awesome. Well, we have 6 minutes left. And we'll also be around all afternoon. And I think there's another question.
I got one more question. So if you were working with the beta and you had already made VPS scans, are those like gone now, or will we still have access to them?
What were you making them on? I feel like this is a question for Tori.
Yeah, using like the.
You mean with Scaniverse?
Yes, the Scaniverse app.
Oh no, those are good. Those are good.
Awesome.
Yeah. You're good. You're good. Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining our talk.
Thank you.
Good job, Sylvia.